Sometime in high school, I learned about the infamous 2004 Super Bowl performance with Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson. During their set, a wardrobe malfunction led to Justin Timberlake pulling off Janet Jackson's costume and exposing Jackson's bare breast on live television. I expected sympathy and reaction, but instead I was horrified to find out that after this, Jackson was essentially blacklisted by the entertainment industry. Her invitation to the Grammys was revoked, and many of her music videos were banned. Meanwhile, Justin Timberlake won a Grammy that same year. No career repercussions or accountability. He didn't even express sympathy until years later, saying he'd only received about 10% of the blame. I was furious. This was my first look at how the entertainment industry upholds the patriarchy by unjustly punishing women. And it made me deeply aware of how women's independence and autonomy are constantly minimized by the industry in art and media. But a while back, another controversy, this time involving Sabrina Carpenter, expanded my perspective. I realized it isn't just the industry policing women artists. It's also us, the viewers. The gender bias isn't only institutional. It's embedded in the ways that we consume and judge art. I love art of all kinds, and as someone who spends way too much time online, I see a lot of discourse about it. Usually I scroll past, but this one stopped me. In October of 2023, Sabrina Carpenter released a music video for her song, Feather, and the internet lost its mind. The outrage wasn't really about the music. It was because she blended religious imagery with sexual provocation, filming parts of it inside a Catholic church. Suddenly, everyone was at war over it. Half the internet called it clever satire. The other half called it blasphemy. People were demanding apologies, takedowns, and censorship. The world was debating whether Sabrina had the right to mix religion with sexuality and whether she should be held to a higher moral standard. And as I watched this play out, I couldn't help but think, what's with the sudden outrage? I've seen art like this before, many, many, many times, hypersexualizing the female body and blending the sacred with the sensual. And people never seemed this mad. But the difference was, that art was created by men. Take Wes Anderson, for example, one of my favorite filmmakers. He is widely celebrated for his distinctive and aesthetic filmmaking style. But there is a darker side of his work people tend to ignore. Displays of naked women in his films in unnecessary and objectifying ways, and perpetuation of harmful racial stereotypes in works like Isle of Dogs or The Darjeeling Limited. The last one, The Darjeeling Limited, even includes a scene filmed inside a Sikh temple. Religious imagery, again. And yes, he's being criticized, but he's also received a lot of grace from his audience. No social media firestorms, no calls for censorship like in Carpenter's case. Just people saying that they hope he learns in the future. As a fan of his work, I usually say the same thing. And yet so far, he hasn't. So why isn't Sabrina Carpenter given that same grace? It's because censorship in art is not neutral and objective. It's biased and it's gendered. Kanye West can call himself a god, and Quentin Tarantino can mix religious symbolisms with graphic violence without being labeled immoral. But when Sabrina blends religion with sexuality, she becomes a moral dilemma of pop culture. The way that we interpret art isn't just about the piece itself. It's about who creates it. Like in so many areas of life, men are granted more freedom, more room to make mistakes, more space to be bold. This controversy shows that the hierarchies of gender don't just live in institutions. They live inside of us, in our perceptions, our double standards, and our snap judgments. When audiences are biased, we limit women's freedom to express themselves. Young women won't see examples of other women breaking artistic or moral boundaries without being punished for it. Meanwhile, men have endless examples of male boundary pushers before them. That reproduces the same old power hierarchies, where men can experiment and provoke, but women must be appropriate in order to be valued. So now that we've talked, ask yourself, when you look at art, what lens are you seeing it through? Do you feel just as scandalized when Kanye calls himself a god or when another male artist uses religious imagery as you do after viewing the video for Feather? Even if you're not religious, are you judging the art itself or the gender of the person creating it? And make no mistake, this is not just a men's issue. It's everyone's issue. Some of the most feminist people I know, myself included, still unconsciously hold women to higher standards of morality. The next time you consume art, reflect. Are your judgments fair, or are they shaped by the misogynistic standards we've been taught to accept? Because if we don't challenge those biases, we become the ones reinforcing the very hierarchies we claim to reject.